So let's talk about this second stimulus check. Now, first off, what can we expect from this? When can we expect it? When are they going to start negotiating? When could this bill potentially be passed? What should we expect? Well, first, let's just be 100% clear. Most people do not expect the Senate to even begin negotiations until May 25th or later. So as of shooting this is May 18th, okay? It is expected that negotiations won't even start until next week. And with that said, if negotiations don't start till next week, the bill potentially will not be passed until the beginning part of June, if not sometime in the middle. Okay, most people expect it to be probably within the first week of June if all the negotiations go well next week. So let's hope that the Senate does, start to negotiate next week. 5/25, that would be the date. Okay, May 25th or sometime next week, because then hopefully we'll have a stimulus check in our hand by the end of June. So first off, why is this second stimulus check so important? Why are so many people pushing for this second stimulus check? Well, a lot of people have speculated that the reason why everyone needs this is because nobody's working. And that's not necessarily the case. Yes, the unemployment rate is sky high. It's unprecedented. We've never seen it like this before. And so because of that, most people believe that's the reason why everybody in America needs a second stimulus check. And that's not necessarily the truth. The truth is there are 8 million people that collect SSI. Okay? If you don't know what SSI is, it's Supplemental Security Income. Out of those 8 million people, the average benefit, the average payment is about $550 per month. So you can see right there, these people that get SSI really could use this money. So it isn't the everyday people working at Walmart and Target and your local grocery stores or the hospitals that need the money. These people do not need the money. They're working. They're making their regular income, so they don't need an additional $1,200 stimulus check. But there are a good amount of Americans that need this money, rely on this money, rely on their 9-to-5 job. And if their hours get cut down, even by a few hours a week, it will completely put them under. They can't pay their mortgage, they can't pay their rent, they can't pay their car payment, their cell phone bill, their electricity, their utilities. They can't pay this stuff. They can't put food on the table. Just the other day, I had to buy a guy lunch because he couldn't afford to buy bread. He couldn't afford it because his hours were cut at his job. And so he couldn't afford to buy himself something to eat because he still had to pay rent. And I get it. People say, well, just don't pay rent. But that puts you kind of in a whole different, we're not going to get into that, okay? I'm just not going to do that right now. Okay, I want to talk about the second stimulus check, why it's so important and what you should expect coming into next week. But before I want to do that, in my video that I did earlier, I was talking about SSI, okay, Supplemental Security Income, and how you should be receiving, if you receive a paper check, you should be receiving your money this week. Hopefully, okay, May 20th is the day you'll receive your money. You'll see your money show up in your bank or show up in the mail. Hopefully, very soon. And if that's not the case, it should be next week, next Wednesday, May 27th. All right, so just be aware of that. It should be coming very soon. That's what the IRS has stated, that checks will be on the way. So if you get SSI, just be aware it should be coming very soon. Now, let's talk about the second stimulus check, because I know that's what everybody's wanting to know. Is it a guaranteed thing that we will all receive $1,200 or possibly more? And it's not a guaranteed thing. But here's what most people are saying, or here's what a lot of people are thinking, is that there's no way the government is going to give us an additional $1,200. Why would they do that? Is the government crazy? Is the government really going to do something like that? And here's the reason why, okay? Most people are under the impression that the Republicans are opposing this entire bill, the entire thing. And that's why when President Trump stated that this bill is dead on arrival, he wasn't addressing just the stimulus check, the $1,200 stimulus check that most people have come to really love to hear about. That's not what he's opposing. What he is opposing is a lot of the other stuff, the excess stuff that is inside this bill. One of the things that he is opposing, and a lot of Republicans are opposing, is they are opposing checks for illegal aliens, not residents, okay? Not people that are here legally. They are opposing a $1,200 stimulus check to all illegal aliens out there because they're in this country illegally. So most people would just assume they should not get the same money that everyone that is here legally should get, right? And so that's what they're opposing. Now, I'm not for it, against it. I could, I have my opinions, but I'm not gonna go into that in this video. What I want to say is that this bill should pass. The $1,200 stimulus check will probably pass. I think it's probably like a 98% chance it's gonna pass at $1,200 or potentially more. Okay, it's not gonna be anything less. I think it's gonna be $1,200 or potentially more. I don't know how much more, but I'm saying $1,200. I'm saying 100% chance it's going to be $1,200 and 98% chance it is going to pass. So, with that said, you need to understand one thing, and this is something that a lot of people have kind of misinterpreted, is, well, why do we need a second stimulus check when states are already opening? There are restaurants open in Idaho, bars in Wisconsin are open, gyms are open in Texas. Okay, Texas is starting to open up. Here in Washington State, where I am, there's a lot of things open. Gyms aren't open, bars are not open, restaurants are open for carry out, not for dine in. Okay, but things are starting to slowly open back up for more carry-out businesses. Not as usual, but I've been seeing a lot of places opening back up, whether they're essential or not. Who really knows? But they have been opening up. So, with that said, why, if states are opening back up, why do we need a second stimulus check? What's it for? What's it needed? Is it really needed? Because if everyone's opening back up, shouldn't things go back to normal? Here's what I want to say, is that what this means is the economy is still going to be affected, simply because when states open back up, people are moving about. What's going to happen is there will obviously be an increase in virus cases, which means we need to be a little bit more cautious. Okay, we need to obviously wash your hands, wear a mask, wear gloves if you can. But you need to understand this virus is not going to go away next week. Just because states open up does not mean the virus is gone. Doesn't mean this pandemic has passed us. That's not what this means. What this means is the virus will still continue to be around into the summer months, probably into the fall, probably with us for the rest of our lives. So seriously, what can you expect from this second stimulus check? If it's a $1,200 check, that means over the course of a month, you're making about $40 a day. $40 a day is not going to be enough to keep a roof over your head, okay? To keep the lights on, to put food on the table, keep you clothed. It's just not. And it's not enough to keep an entire family fed, an entire family safe. It's just not enough money. So what can you expect? What you can expect is you're just going to have to live with it. Nobody's going to give you a handout of $10,000 per person. Just say, all right, spend it as you wish. Do whatever you want. Hopefully it will work out. It's not going to happen that way. Okay? But what you can do, I'm going to put a link to a video down in the description box below. I'll even link to it right there. You can go and watch it of how to make money from a free app. Now, this is an absolutely free app. It's free for you to use, free for you to join it. And you can start making money $5 at a time, right? There's no investment needed whatsoever. So again, if you want to start making money, I highly recommend you go and watch this video. Remember, I linked to it right there. I'll link to it down in the description box below as well. Now, normally I don't talk about stimulus checks here on my Homemade Entrepreneur channel. I just don't do that. And the reason why is because I do a little bit with finance, but the main thing I try to do is teach people how to become an entrepreneur. How to be self-employed, how to make money on their own time, not rely on somebody else. So what I've decided to do recently is start talking a little bit more about stimulus checks, try to address the real issue. Maybe it's the government, maybe it's other things. Who knows? We're going to get to that in other videos. But what I'm going to do moving forward for the next probably few weeks to a month is really address all the issues with stimulus checks, try to help you out any way that I can, really address those concerns that you're having, talk about the current updates, what we're seeing, the talk, what's kind of going into this, things that are coming out, how you can benefit from them, everything that has to do with stimulus checks, stimulus packages, all that stuff. But along the way, I want you to really try to focus on creating and establishing a second income source. Whether it's $5 a day, $1 a day, $100 a day, doesn't matter. The goal is for you to become financially free for yourself. So if you have any questions whatsoever, whether it's on this stimulus check, whether it's on the third, fourth, fifth, who knows if there's going to be a third one, fourth one, fifth one, we don't know. But if you have questions, whether it's on the first stimulus check, the second stimulus check, any stimulus check update, stimulus packages, the CARES Act, the HEROES Act, anything, you can ask you questions down in the comment section below, and I'll get to those comments and I'll try to help you out the best that I can. So if you enjoyed today's video, like always, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you guys on the next one.